Sad times. Sad times. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another Premier League recap show, ladies and gentlemen. We are out here. We do not hide. We're here doing streams. This is probably like my 500th stream relating to this game and the weekend in general. But we're here. You get me? We're not hiding. We're allowing people to speak their mind. We're allowing people to talk. Because this is Liverpool's first loss of the season. So, I expect that as soon as the Lion fell down a little bit, the people will all gather around him to laugh. But the Lion is still top of the league. However, the Lion is down right now. So might as well get the Wolves to laugh at him. No pun intended to the Chelsea fan in the background. So anyway, whether you're watching this right now or on the replay, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Guys, we're here. Second day in a row, getting cooked. 130 people in here already. We ain't even started yet. You need to get the likes up. So everyone slap the like button. Everyone subscribe to This is Football right here, right now. So please do like and subscribe. And big up all my super chatters as well. Since the start of February, you guys have been absolutely incredible. So make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you guys are sharing the videos everywhere. We appreciate all the love and support. And let me introduce today's panelists. First of all, I'll start with the winners. We have two winners on this week. Two winners. First of all, I feel like I have to introduce this guy first because I'm guilty of something. I usually invite him on when Arsenal aren't doing well because I feel like he's level-headed. This is the one time, not the one time, that's a lie. Like he's been here after Arsenal wins before, but it's like more likely that he's here after Arsenal losses. So today, it's actually his time to shine. And he's here. And the extra reason why he's happy is because Nigeria are in an AFCON semi-final. So he just smiles all around. So he's extra happy Kunle today. Kunle, how are you doing, my brother? Muted.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, now, my people, it's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, today you go understand. And it's been a wonderful weekend for me. Started off on Friday. My Niger boys, they enter semi-finals. Normal level.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And we're going all the way to the cup. Let it be known right now. Also, Spurs dropped points. Chelsea did what Chelsea love to do, lose games. And of course, upon all that yapping by all them Liverpool fans, they came to the Emirates. And Jurgen Klopp is leaving his last season in North London with nil points. 3-1 Arsenal. Smash the like button, my people. Let's go.
By the way, I just want to say this quickly. I think Kunle can probably relate to what I'm about to say right now. I cannot do Jordan watch along. I will 100%, I will go to jail. Like, I will not just get cancelled from the shit that I say. I realized this. I done Jordan South Korea the first time. I had to hold back my reaction so much when we conceded the goal at the end. I ain't doing no damn watch along for my country. Leave me alone.
Bro,
Tomorrow's
our
first ever semi-final.
The viewers want to see it, bro. The viewers want to see it, bro. You got to give them what they want, bro.
I don't care. Listen, it's my first ever semi-final. I have my entire tribe coming to my house. You're going to watch the game together. You get me? So we can cuss all our hearts out. And you know how Kunle as well can relate to this. Cussing in your native language is so much better than in English. So much. Like, you actually just release all your negative energy. Like, I've cussed the shit out of some of these players in Arabic, and it just feels so much nicer than English. Like, in English, you're just like, oh, you idiot, you fraud, you bozo. In Arabic, it's like, beep, 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 beep machine. You get me? I can't even say those words back. But yeah, listen. I have to, let me just watch my country in peace. And if we get to the final,
you got to show, you have to do the watch along for the final.
No, if we get to the final,
bro, you have to, bro.
I'm flying to Qatar and I'm doing a match day vlog. Never mind final. Never mind watch along. So we're going to have to skip the Liverpool-Burnley watch along possibly because the final is on Saturday. But yeah, big up to you, Kunle. Joining us on the channel as well, actually, I think making his debut or his second appearance on This Is Football. I've actually been on his channel probably twice over the last 2 weeks or so. A fantastic Arsenal content creator. I'm so glad I invited two level-headed guys on. I'm so happy because you get me, there's no wildness. Because I feel like the two Liverpool fans, to be fair to us, have also been level-headed. I didn't say no wild shit. I predicted a draw. I said Arsenal is our most tough fixture to the end of the season. So I never said anything wild. I will not get cooked for other people's steaks. So anyway, joining us on the channel, of course, you guys have seen him on AFTV. You've seen him on the 12th Man podcast. You've seen him, kind of representing Arsenal everywhere as well. I swear he done the line thing as well with Arsenal. What do Arsenal fans agree with? What do they disagree with? This guy's a bit of a celebrity, and he's our favorite ginger on the stream. So joining us on the channel is man like Dan Potts. How you doing, Potts?
Love that, man. I'll take all of them as compliments, my friend. Thank you very much, bro. Big up to both of you and big up to everybody in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button. And I'm happy, Sam. I'm happy at the moment. So I'm looking forward to this one, my bro.
Yeah, I bet you are happy. So congratulations. Joining us on the channel is someone who's not happy. You get me? This guy, you guys see him on the halftime shows. He was actually on the halftime show as well yesterday in the game. You've seen him on probably 99% of the halftime shows on This Is Football. You've seen him on Staffy TV, on American Waffle. You just catch him here and there representing Liverpool on TJ Warren TV as well. Shout out TJ. Joining us on the channel is the Connor Bradley story of This Is Football. We've taken him from the halftime shows. Now he's on the big screen. He's now being watched on Sky Sports. It's completely different, a completely different setting than the one on the halftime show. So joining us on the channel today, of course, is our favorite reactionary fraud on the planet, and like Mike Daas. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm not going to be reactionary today. And the first time I talk with Chest all season, I get bent over. So you know what? Not going to do it again for the rest of the year. I'm going to go back to being the pessimist that I am. Because if you're a pessimist, you can only be happy because if your expectations are shattered, that means that you won. And if they're not, that means that you were right. So either way, I'm a win-win. But yeah, you know what? Just gonna call it how it is today. Big up for having me. Hit the subscribe button, get Hussam to 26K. And yeah, let's just I'm just here so I don't get fined. Let's just put it that way.
Big up, Mike. Big up, Mike. And speaking of here so he doesn't get fined, you get me? Chelsea, the most embarrassing project in sports, not just football, in the 21st century. We had to get a Chelsea fan on. And I have to say as well, I actually have put out a level-headed panel today. No wild shit, none of this crazy stuff. He's here to talk about his football club losing at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And he's going to tell us about his opinion on the game at the Emirates. Joining us on the channel is the man that's here to surf in his favorite month, the worst player on the Sarcasm City TV FIFA team, man like Andrew is in the building. Hi, Andrew.
Shut up, all right? Just shut up about the worst player in the pro clubs. Shut up, all right? You shut up, yeah? It's all good you giving it all of the out in the chat. Why don't you jump on and see if you can play? Yeah? You jump on.
I'm sorry, I don't have FIFA, brother. I don't have FIFA.
This guy.
You know FIFA's rigged. You know that shit's scripted. Don't even try. You know it's scripted.
Yeah, so I still like playing it.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. See? Here, from your own team. Your own teammates are calling you out.
Oh, the Darwin Núñez of his own team is speaking right now. Jesus Christ. This guy talks about 200 goals he scored. He's got about 800 misses to go with those.
Hey, Jacob is a fraud each and every time, bro. Each and every time.
Yeah, earlier on he was like Kunle out as well. This Jacob guy. I love Jacob.
Jacob is a fraud, man.
Yeah.
This guy makes
He's still looking for his 3 points at Goodison, bro.
Hey, Jacob, if you want to hop on, DM me. I'll send you the link. So there's only one place to start, guys. First of all, let me just get to the super chats quickly before we... Yo, Jack, my brother. I said, I've smashed my TV. Yo, I'm so sorry, Jack. But, big up to your TV. I hope you have insurance on that or something. Say that like your child broke it or some shit. Like he threw a stone at it or something. Plot twist of the story is you are the child. But big up to you, Jack. Thank you for the super chat. You get me? W's Jack's TV in the chat right now. Big up to you, my guy. Big up to Felipe. He says, Felipe, by the way, this loss is your fault. You're the biggest jinx in the universe. You're a Newcastle fan who has predicted every result wrong. Pre-game, you told me Arsenal will win, and then as soon as you saw the lineup, you said Liverpool will win. This is all your fault. Arsenal fans been very chatty. You better win this title. LFC collapsed last season. You also must win the title. LFC must bounce back. Hussam, am I a jinx? I answered the question before I even read it. Can you imagine? Okay, imagine I answer the question before you read it because you're the biggest jinx in the universe. You get me? And you're Australian. So hold that for getting knocked out as well of the Asia Cup. So you can hold that too. So you're a fraud, Felipe. But
Wow.
anyway, we'll get revenge on South Korea for you, inshallah. Big up to you, Felipe. Big up, Jack, for the super chats. Big up to all the super chatters, all the people who have shown us all the love and support. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button, subscribing. And of course, there's one place to start. Kunle, the Emirates, Liverpool, absolutely destroyed. Talk to the people, brother.
I've got one question, mate. Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? What happened to Virgil, bro? What was he doing? Chilling, hanging out. You told me Allison was kung fu fighting. Now that was a good one. I like that punchline. Still. They thought they could run up in the Emirates and do damage. They thought we were done. We were over. Out of this. Arsenal are not going to be there. All that. The most important thing is yesterday, it was an Arteta masterclass. He got it right. He got it completely right. And as a fan, sometimes you just got to put your hand up and say, do you know what? There's a reason why I'm not a coach. Because we're always on the sideline saying, yeah, you should play this player, this tactic, that tactic. I was before the game talking about ESR should have started. Jorginho, this ain't the game for Jorginho. Start Trossard instead of Marcelli. You know, as fans, we love to think we know exactly what's going on. I see the lineup, no Jesus. Havertz is starting. I said, oh, more Wahala. But I still had the feeling. The day before, I had a feeling that we're going to score 3 and Liverpool will score 2. I gave you a little bit too much credit, unfortunately. But anyway, we got the job done. We scored all the goals yesterday. Liverpool, except that little Gakpo situation at the start of the first half, didn't see anything in that game, man. We like nullified you for the whole game. The only chance you got was our mistake. And Trossard came on, made Harvey Elliott look like a small boy. When the goggles came on, you knew it was a wrap that day. So yeah, 3-1. Back in the title race. Can we win the title? Of course we can win the title. Will we win the title? That's a whole different question. But we take it game by game. Arteta made sure Klopp left North London with 0 points. And I'm happy about that. We move.
Potsy, what are you saying, my brother?
Yeah, similarly, man. Listen, there's a lot of Liverpool fans that I speak to that are extremely humble. There's a lot of Liverpool fans I speak to that are so cocky. Yeah. You know, Hassam. And there's some that I speak to, and it's like really like, I'm so confident we're battering you. It'll be pure domination. I think it might be 4, maybe 5. I can't see Arsenal doing much in this game. We're the team that are on fire. That's all cool. But don't ever come to the Emirates and expect to win 5 or 6-0. It's just crazy, right, to do that. I'm all for saying that Arsenal are playing poorly. I'm all for saying that I'm still not convinced in certain parts. I'm all for saying that I've got concerns in this team in the long run. But I've never, ever suggested we go and lose by 4 or 5 at home. That's crazy for me, right? One thing I will say, I agree with Kunle in terms of how Arteta set up, because I was really worried that we were going to try and play Havertz in this 8, or maybe even Smith Rowe again in this 8 like we saw against Forest. And I was praying that we would play Jorginho in there. And I actually felt like the double pivot of Jorginho and Declan Rice was even more so a surprise. And it really worked, man. I was really disappointed with Liverpool's midfield. I thought it was poor. I thought it got it completely wrong. And I thought personally it got eaten up. And then listen, it was a game of errors, wasn't it? Let's be real. I mean, Arsenal's goal that we conceded was a shambles. I'm putting that on Saliba. That's 2 now that Saliba's got a hold an L4, in my opinion, in the last 2 games. I'm a big fan of him. But you can't get bodied by Awani and then get done over by Daas by waiting for Raya to come collect it. I mean, Raya and Gabriel haven't done anything to help him. Don't get me wrong. But I'm putting the blame fully on Saliba for that one. And then what Alisson and Van Dijk are doing, I have no idea. I mean, Van Dijk's just got to head that, in my opinion. I can't believe he's let it bounce. Alisson kicks him instead of the ball. It's a shambles, the whole thing. This is 2 players that have been classed as the best in their position in the world, and rightly so over the last 5 seasons, right? But you just don't expect that to happen. And when it does, you've got to capitalize on it. Harvey Elliott, come on. I don't know if I'm right in seeing this tactically, Hassan, but did Klopp put Diaz at right back? I was so surprised what I was seeing
Right
there.
wing back.
Right wing back. I was like,
as soon as Harvey Elliott came on, I knew it was game over, man.
Yeah, and then big up to Trossard, by the way, because that was a great bit of skill and a good for him to shoot, because that's something that Arsenal have failed to do over the last few weeks, really, is actually take a shot. We're trying to score the perfect goal, which is frustrating. But I felt like we deserved it. When we conceded, I didn't feel like it was deserved as far as Liverpool were concerned. We had to kick it in the net for you. So I was really pleased that we turned up, and I felt we dominated in that game. I was massive fan of Jorginho and Rice. And I thought Martinelli caused all sort of problems, and Kenyatte just lost his head, got himself sent off. And that's led to Liverpool fans losing their head, particularly Jamie Carragher, who seems obsessed with Odegaard taking pictures. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So
Love
for
it,
me,
bro.
I'm a happy Arsenal fan right now, man.
All right, we need to give a little bit of props for Kai Havertz yesterday. Look, I know he missed his
Yeah, fair
chance,
play.
but if he's not in the team, maybe that chance doesn't get to Saka and we don't go 1-0 up. He played a great game, physical battles, he won them all. Right. Best game for Arsenal so far. Look, I'm not bigging up the price tag and saying he's the
Still should
truth
have
and
scored though,
whatnot.
Kunle. Still should have
He
scored though, bro.
definitely should have scored, but he put himself about yesterday and was very, very effective, more than I thought he would be. So I got to big him
fair,
up
man.
for yesterday.
Before we go to Mike, big up to Tony, says I've got a kebab in hand at work. Time to sit back and watch the stream as a happy man. Come on, you Gunners. Big up to the panel. Hey, big up to you, Tony. And now I feel like Arsenal fans, when they watch, a lot of people, Arsenal fans who watch my match reaction, and this is what I was like meant to say at the start, is like, I'm not gonna get cooked for other people's steaks. Many Arsenal fans were commenting in my chat, going like, "Yo, Hussam, actually respect what you said," and shit like that, because I was actually quite objective about the game. And I'll say my opinion now in a second, but let's go to Mike first. Because speaking of someone, he admitted it himself. There's no need like for me to be smug about it. He already said he was probably a bit too overconfident before the game started. But talk to me about what happened at the Emirates yesterday, Mike.
Yeah. Listen, Arsenal were 3 feet in the grave and they dug themselves out, right? So fair play to them, because if they lost this game, they would have been 8 points back, and that would have been a massive hill to climb. So fair play. They're 2 points back on the same amount of games. Liverpool had an advantage and they've now lost the advantage. However, they're still at the top of the league. So I'm not going to sit here and overreact and say that it's doom and gloom, doomsday, right? Because the season is a war, and yesterday was a battle, and now we have some scars, but ultimately every champion has scars, right? What I saw from the team, I'm not going to take anything away from Arsenal because they won 3-1. But to me, Declan Rice was just absolutely outstanding. And he essentially impeded Curtis Jones and McAllister from ever making a turn. Every time they made a turn and went upfield, he was there. I know people are giving props to Jorginho, but to me, Declan Rice played his best game in an Arsenal shirt. As for Liverpool themselves, what I saw was Klopp getting the starting 11 wrong. What I saw was a lack of energy, a lack of intensity from every player. Within the first 15 minutes, we were losing every loose ball. We were sloppy in possession. But the thing is, Arsenal fans are saying that, this was an Arteta masterclass, right? The thing is, as a Liverpool fan who watches my team week in, week out, I know my team better than Arsenal, and Arsenal know their team better than me, right? So when I look at my team and I look at what happened yesterday, I see the same thing that happens when we play poor teams and teams give us possession of the ball. We get complacent, we get lethargic. There's too much space in between our players. There's no options. There's no fluidity, right? We did the same thing last year against Wolves when we got battered 3-0. We did the same thing last year against Brighton when we got battered 3-0. Who had more possession in the first half? Liverpool. Who created all of the chances in the first half? Arsenal. It's the same story over and over again. What I saw was just a regression to last season. I saw a complete lack of creativity, a complete lack of fluidity, and just like I said, a total regression. I think that we were missing some key players. I think that Trent playing as a traditional right back was a massive mistake. I don't understand why he wasn't inverting and why he wasn't more central, because he offered almost nothing creatively going forward, and he offered even less going back. I mean, you can make an argument that he's partially at fault for the goal by Havertz, and to be honest, I think that the credit needs to go to Odegaard for that, because him moving forward caused Virgil van Dijk to pinch, which I think was a mistake, but no one was covering Konate, so Konate had to worry about Martinelli and Havertz, and I think that anyone in an Arsenal shirt who was playing in that position would have made that run, and maybe another player would have scored, but I just don't rate Havertz. But listen, either way, Arsenal won the day, and I think that Klopp just got it seriously wrong, and I'm more disappointed in the performance than I am in the result, right? Because I understand that it's a long season, but it's just the way that we lost. Like, if we lost, it would have been fine. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. If we performed well and Arsenal beat us, we move. But we performed so terribly at the biggest possible moment of the season so far, and that is just unacceptable to me. And I'm not willing to negate that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But we move. We have other games left. That was probably our last seriously difficult away fixture. And Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad, and City still have to come to us. So this is far from over. We can still take 3 points over them. Hopefully, you guys draw to the at the Etihad, and that'll drop points for both of you. So we'll see. But fair play to them. They won the day, and they're back in it. So
before we open the floor up, I just want to piggyback of what Mike just said right now. I agree with Mike. The most disappointing thing isn't even the result; it's the performance. I said pre the game, I think it's going to be a draw. I said it's going to be difficult. I never said it was going to be easy at all. I said I think the Emirates away game was going to be our toughest game till the end of the year. Like, this is the thing, because City at Anfield, we usually do well. Even when we were crap, we usually beat them. So that's a much easier game for us than Arsenal away. Arsenal were a tough opposition. 100% Arsenal deserved to win the game. Liverpool had one shot on target. Even the goal that we scored was jammy. And Dan Potts spoke about it. Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, if I say Virgil van Dijk's the best centre back in the world, no one's going to be upset. If I say Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world, no one's going to be upset. It's not like a waffling crazy opinion. But yesterday, we have to be honest, those two are the two that let us down in game. Those are the two that cost us in game. Like, that mistake was so dreadful. I think Klopp, from a tactical perspective, playing Gakpo on the right, I think was an absolute disaster in terms of pace and power. That guy got absolutely pocketed. Our forward line, I felt bad for Jota. It just wasn't good enough for me. The midfield as well. One guy I think gets credit from me is McAllister, because I feel like he was fighting a lone battle by himself most of the time. Curtis Jones was okay, but Gravenberch for me was by far, other than the mistakes from Virgil and Alisson, the worst player on the pitch.
he can't start
Absolutely
again.
hiding.
He cannot start
Absolutely
again.
hiding. You know what? We've all played football at some form of level here. Like, it's not like we played, under 23 for Manchester City or Liverpool. We get it, but we played football, so we have a certain understanding of the game. Every time between the midfield line of Arsenal and the defensive line of Arsenal, Gravenberch was in the middle, literally just hiding all game long. I saw Curtis Jones drop deep. I saw McAllister drop deep, trying to collect the ball, trying to do something, trying to take risks, trying to take advantage. But Gravenberch was just hiding, and he didn't help out Trent defensively at all. And this is the positive of Dominic Szoboszlai. I know Dominic Szoboszlai doesn't get unbelievable ratings in the big games. It's not like he scored a hat-trick or turned up or blah, blah, blah. But he still helps out defensively at least. And I think Gravenberch's specifically defensive side of the game 100% needs to be worked on, because it was just not good enough against Arsenal. And Arteta 100% outcoached Klopp. I have no problem saying that, because it was the fact. What happened on Sunday was Liverpool's worst performance all year long for me, because we turned into Man City light, which is something that we don't like to do. Liverpool thrive on chaos, on heavy metal. And then we decided to listen to reggae out of nowhere, and we put on dreadlocks, and we try to do like the reggae artists do, but we just don't have that vibe. We don't have that that swagger about us. We're a different type of swagger. We're heavy metal. We're a guitar that's just like down, and we're rock stars and shit. That's what we like doing. But when I saw Konate and Virgil van Dijk pass to each other 500 times, I was like, am I watching City in disguise? And we have to give credit to Arsenal for limiting us. That's where Arsenal get credit from me. So I think this game, and this is my final point before I Vater games, I'm so sick and tired of City fans. Vater, our biggest game was Etihad away, and we ended up drawing because of Trent. So hold that, Vater, fraud. Also, I saw Jacob Arellano talking about Coutinho Romero could never. Coutinho Romero literally cost you 3 points away at Everton. Hold that. Don't let me play the clip. So anyway, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, this is a final point before I kind of open the floor up and get you guys' conversations going. I think this is football justice, and the reason why I say that is I don't think we deserve to win the FA Cup game. We smashed and grabbed, and we absolutely scammed Arsenal in that game. Today was just justice. It's just like fairness in the world of football. Like, oh, you thought you were gonna smash and grab again with a Gabriel volleyball own goal? Nope, you're about to get it today because you deserve it. So, yeah, I think it was a deserved loss. But now it's about Liverpool just bouncing back from this, and it wasn't a must-win game for us. It was a must-win game for Arsenal, because had Arsenal lost the game, they would have been 8 points behind Liverpool. Disaster. Right now, City still come to Anfield. Spurs come to Anfield. We don't have really tough fixtures remaining. So, the only tough fixture I'd say is Old Trafford away. The rest are all, in my opinion, winnable games. So they had to win the game. We didn't, in my opinion, have to win the game. Open floor. Andrew as well, if you want to get involved. The floor is yours as well.
So two things.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool fans got too giddy over the performances against Norwich and us. Beating us is not a big thing. Wolves just did it, so it's not a massive thing to get giddy about. Second of all, I watched your match reaction. It was interesting you said about that is Liverpool without a Mohamed Salah replacement. That could be the future of Liverpool if they don't get it right in terms of their replacement. Or replacements. Not replacement for Salah, let's say replacements, because I don't think you can replace Salah with one player. I just don't think that's happening. Third of all, they really targeted your right-hand side yesterday a lot. Your right-hand side they perceived as your big weakness for the entire side. I don't know if I just couldn't understand it really. I thought I thought the scoreline flattered you. I think 3-1 really flattered Liverpool. That 2-1, it was 2-1 for so long, and I'm thinking if I didn't know what happened in the game, I thought it's a really close game. But no, they battered you. It was just that they weren't clinical enough, and they had to rely on the defensive mistakes. But Arsenal thoroughly deserved that victory yesterday. There was no point in that game where I thought Liverpool were going to do anything, nothing whatsoever, and it was just about how Arsenal were going to capitalise and get these goals. That's what I would. If I was going to Arsenal fan, I'd take that away. I would look at that and go, we need to be more clinical. We need to be more clinical, and we need to get those chances, because we're not always going to get the help we're going to get that Liverpool did for us, especially the second goal. The third goal is that you can deflect off anything. You can deflect off anything that goes in. I don't really blame either player really for the third goal. That's just deflection. He's trying to defend. But the second goal's a big clammy, and they really target. I mean, Klopp really left Konate out to dry yesterday. He left him out to dry. It was not a good day for Liverpool whatsoever. But listen, Arsenal back in the title race, stuff like that. Liverpool will be fine.
They were always in it, Surfer.
Yeah,
you know they were always in
I know,
it.
but let's run with the
It's
narrative.
February.
People are saying they're out.
It's February.
They're back in. Everyone agrees now, so it's all good. Everyone's happy with that bit. So, but no, it's a good game. It's a good game for Arsenal. They all stepped up. Let me just say, that is Kai Havertz's role right there. None of this wide, none of this midfield. If you want Havertz to play, and not always play, but if you want Havertz to interchange with Jesus from game to game, that's where you play him. That's where he's most effective.
He has no business in that midfield. No business.
You know what you want him? You want him far away from the midfield and the defence. And that's a perfect position right there. Because he can't impact them like that. His impact lessens when he's further up the pitch.
My bad, Andrew. I just wanted to counter one thing that you said. I don't think that Mohamed Salah would have made a difference yesterday. And the reason why is because the midfield was entirely capitulated. We had absolutely no ability to build up any sort of play anywhere on the pitch except between Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. That was our only progression. When Konate would pass it 5 yards forward to Virgil, and then Virgil would pass it 5 yards forward to Konate, and then they'd go 5 yards back, 5 yards back. Unfortunately, I don't think he would have made that big of a difference. Could he have created a few chances in the game? Absolutely. But do I think it probably would have changed 2 shots on target to 4 shots on target? And ultimately, that's just not good enough, because the midfield is where the problem was. Trent being a traditional right back was where the problem was. Look at his heat map in that game. It is entirely on the right side. I will say it again, and I've said it 1,000 times. He is not a right back. He is a midfielder. He needs to be in the midfield. And as long as he plays as a traditional right back, we will get cucked over and over again on the right side. Teams will absolutely destroy us. They will cut through us like a hot knife through butter, because that's what Trent did. Trent left Ibrahima Konate on an island, and every time Martinelli was in front of him and received the ball, Konate dealt with it. Every time Martinelli got in behind him and received the ball, he blew past him. And I expect that, right? But unfortunately, he had no cover, because the whole shape was wrong. The whole midfield was wrong. And I don't think that there's a single player on the planet that you could have put in our front three that would have made a single difference.
So here's the thing. Mohamed Salah not only changes the way you play, but it changes the way Arsenal think about the game.
Yes,
right? It changes the entire thing, how Arsenal think about the game, which tells me yesterday, who did you start on the right? Sorry, yesterday?
I think Jota started on the right.
Right, I don't know why. Okay, that's a different one. Right, okay, no problem.
So that's a whole different horse.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah,
A
it
whole
says to
different
me that they weren't respectful enough.
Oh,
of
the front three were
Liverpool
dreadful
Jota.
in general.
Yeah, if that Salah's in the game, that totally changed. I don't know if the Arsenal guys agree. That
It
totally
changes
changed
the
way
Arsenal coverage
Arsenal
100%.
focus on that game. It changes
That
their
alone will
focus on the
create
game.
space for the other two. This
Right,
is the thing.
exactly.
Hey,
Just the presence of
Zinchenko would have started getting confused at some point.
Exactly.
That's
We saw
what
it
I'm
at
saying.
Anfield. We saw it at
Zinchenko
Anfield.
said it himself. Like,
Yeah, we saw it
I'm
at
not a
Anfield.
Salah sexual. It's not about that. I'm just recognizing
But we still would
world-class
have won the
players
game,
make
though.
No, but world-class players make a difference in the
Yeah,
big game.
probably.
This
But
is
the
fact.
problem is that we never would have been able to build up anything in the midfield in order to get Salah the ball. That's the point I'm trying to make, because we were
and
so
that for
dominated
me,
in the center of the park.
That's fair.
that for me
That's a
was
fair
the
point.
biggest thing that was obvious to me. Like Salah, we can talk about boo-hoo, but let's be real. You've dealt without Salah quite well in the last few weeks, in my opinion. That midfield for me was
Chelsea
really
and Norwich.
poor. I couldn't hear
You
that.
played,
Sam, say that
you
again.
played us too as well, didn't you?
Against Arsenal in the FA Cup, we were able to create from the right side. Luis Diaz was creating, but that's because our midfield was fluid and we were actually doing shit. But we weren't yesterday. So what do you expect?
Yeah, and this is the thing. I don't think this has been like, oh, what do you expect? Liverpool ain't got Salah, ain't gonna happen. Like,
Right.
you have to get used to it. Salah's gonna go soon, right? So you're gonna have to do it. And I don't think I've not looked at Liverpool once and gone, yeah, they ain't winning nothing without Salah. I've been quite impressed, and actually, I've been quite fair with Liverpool this season in terms of me. When I first looked at the season before a ball was kicked, I'm like, Liverpool need a 6, otherwise they ain't winning no title. And I've been quite complimentary to what I've seen from Arsenal's midfield in terms of the improvement of Curtis Jones. I've been quite impressed by Alexis McAllister at times. I think Szoboszlai's had his moments as well. And I think, yeah, do you know what? Maybe they make do, but they still need one. Endo's been pretty good. To be fair, I think he's surprised a lot of people. But when I look at it, I think Liverpool's midfield is like pretty all right. But pretty all right doesn't really win you a title. And I've always had that question mark back at me. Now, Liverpool can go and win it with that lot. Absolutely, they can, right? Because they've got firepower. But I sometimes look at it and I think, which one of those midfielders do you look at and go, right, boom, that is the one that's world-class elite. That's the Rodri in the team. I don't see one. And I think Liverpool have always had one. And I feel like you
Trent
need
would
one.
be.
I really do.
Trent would 100% be, but that's just my
Trent is unbelievable footballer, and I've said it to Sam and guys. I think he's been the best player in the Premier League this season. I look at what Trent's done. I just think he's a ridiculously good midfielder. Footballer, and I think he is unreal. I think he's been the best player this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I look at him and I think, wow, like everything he's done this season. Listen, it's not just this season. He's been amazing for the last few years, right? I understand he's got defensive frailties, but they ain't my problem. I'm not the one putting him at right back. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, the guy is an incredible footballer. And that's what I look at. And there's definitely defensively. But I don't just think it was Trent yesterday either. I think the midfield completely and utterly lost it. Gravenberch was awful. I didn't think Curtis Jones did much. I mean, when Ben White's nutmugging you, there's a problem. So for me, there was issues. And I don't know, Szoboszlai, when I see him in the team, and obviously Endo coming back into it, I don't think I look at the midfield at Liverpool still and think, yeah, they don't need a 6. They do, man. And, you know, you had 115 million apparently to spend on Caicedo. So I was surprised that you didn't try and go get one. Maybe you will in the summer. I think you have to. But that yesterday for me was absolutely key for me. I thought we completely, you know, when Jorginho was in that midfield and Rice together, particularly as a double pivot, I thought, yeah, they're going to absolutely, this is good. I'm liking this. And Liverpool, I thought, were disappointing in midfield. I was really, really shocked. And I thought, and I've got to say this, and this might be really harsh, I don't think Cody Gakpo is anywhere near good enough for Liverpool, man. I don't think he's anywhere near good enough for Liverpool. Like, I look at him and I think you're maybe a squad player at best, but when you're playing, I'll take you up top all day long because
we have
I just don't know his position, Dan. I just literally don't know. I don't get him. I don't get his position. Like,
Cody,
where is your role in the team? What is
Cody plays his best performances when Nunes is to his left and they're swapping.
Yes.
Right. So when Cody plays as this like false 9 and he's swapping with Darwin, which is like, if you were going to start Cody, why are you not starting Darwin on the left? That's what didn't make any sense to me, because they play unbelievable when they swap back and forth. And yes, like as a lone striker, is he the best, or is he starting 11 worthy? Probably not. But in the right system with the right players around him, he can absolutely show class and be a very effective player. But just really quickly, just a question for the two Arsenal fans. After yesterday's result, I'm just surprised how no one's bantered us about the fact that we've only won one game against top 6 sides this season. If you look at the table, the only team that we've beaten is Aston Villa. So I'm just shocked that you guys haven't kind of dug
That's
that knife in our back, if you know what I
I
mean.
don't really.
Chelsea's not in the top 6. So I'm saying
Oh, you said
by
top 6, not big 6. My
yeah,
bad.
by
don't really-
the table, Aston Villa are the only team that we beat, and we beat them in September. Since then,
don't-
we're top of the league without beating anyone else up there.
I don't really look at stuff like that so much because I look at the table. I don't really look at who beat who and how did you get there. If you're there,
I agree.
like if I win the league, I don't really care that I lost the game to like Burnley, but I beat Man United, or I didn't beat Man United, but I beat Burnley. Is that a problem? No, it's not, because you're top of the league. Like that's the way I look at it personally. So I wouldn't be bantering people when they're top of the league. And who are Arsenal to sit there bantering when most of the challenges we've had this season, we haven't been able to get across the line. So I'm not going to start getting cocky and start saying, oh, Liverpool have only beaten that. I ain't doing that. Like Liverpool is still a top club. And I also just lastly think I look at it and I think, yeah, there's no way that this is all like Liverpool can't win the league now. Come on, man. You're still top of the league. This doesn't really change much. That's all I'm saying, man. But go on, Kunle. Sorry, man.
Also, I would say this ain't the panel for that, innit? Do you get me? Like this ain't no, let's be honest, like
Maybe not,
like to be fair, I wouldn't be doing it anyway, but there's certain panels who need to be told a
100%.
few things that throw them. Do you get what I'm saying? But this is a level-headed panel that understand that it's not all about banter. You have to look at football for what it is sometimes. It's not just jokes and stuff. But at the end of the day, as Dan said, you
If
guys
Jacob
asked
was here, I feel like you'd see a different side to Kunle. If certain Liverpool fans were here to
100%. 100%.
100%.
Hamza on the show, Jacob.
If Hamza was here,
it'd be crazy.
Kunle wouldn't be calm at all.
I'd be shameless as hell.
You have got to be like that, though. You have got to change it to who's on the panel sometimes, because you've got to stick up for yourself and you know what I'm saying?
I want to expand on the Arsenal bit a little bit now in a second. Big up to Donna says, Donna, you need to stop sexually abusing the men on this stream time. But thank you for the super chat, you know. Hussam, believe, bro, we will win the league. Everyone has a bad game. Virgil van Dijk and Alisson normally consistently excellent, up the quadruple chasing Reds. This is a conversation I had with you guys 100 times. This is why from day one, I've been the only Liverpool fan on YouTube who has said, fuck the Europa League. I actually recognize where the squad is. I'm saying play the academy players in the Europa League. Let's go for both domestic cups, no problem. There's only one game left in the Carabao Cup anyway. And the FA Cup has its own weekends. Like, so it's not like it even gets in the way, to be fair. Like, so we could just play. We could play in the FA Cup and it'll be fine. I don't want Virgil, Mo, Trent, Ali playing in these games in the Europa League. I just don't want that to happen. I genuinely.
The only competition Klopp hasn't won, Sam. Why don't you want him to win that?
You know, Potts, I'm not going to send shots at you, but when you're a 6-time Champions League winner, you don't give a fuck about the Europa League. It's just how it goes. You know, it's like having 6 Ferraris and then someone's like, yo,
there he is. Look what you started there. There he is. There he is. Hey.
Yeah, sometimes the Sam can come back into the room sometimes.
I'm just saying, if you have 6 Ferraris, why would you want a Toyota truck? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is a fact.
It's a reliable car. It's
Ferrari,
great.
a Lamborghini, a McLaren parked outside my house, and you're like, you know what, Hussam, you haven't got a Toyota truck. This is why you have got to get the Toyota truck. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. We're good, brother. We're good. That competition will add no value to Liverpool Football Club, you know?
I actually think you've got more chance of winning the Europa League than the FA Cup. That's my opinion.
It depends on the draw. If we scam more easy draws,
Liverpool ain't winning the league, bro. Liverpool ain't winning the league, bro.
I wouldn't go that far yet. You're still second.
I never said we're winning the league either, mate.
Let's
just calm down there. Yeah, man. City are doing this thing. I'd love to be shocked and surprised and my team do a madness, but
City. I think everyone knows
City are doing this thing, man. And really and truly, Liverpool needed to beat us for me to think otherwise about this thing. But City are winning this league, bro.
Yeah, I want to expand now on the title race a little bit. Big up to Felipe, who says you don't need Salah, you're fine with that. I'm obviously being sarcastic because Felipe is one of the guys that always backs my Salah point. This goes out to all the people 2 weeks ago who were so reactionary as soon as we fucking beat Arsenal away from home with a scam job and we beat Norwich. Oh my God, look how fluid we are without Mo Salah. Just so idiotic, bro. You need your world-class players. I actually gave them an Arsenal example. I said, I still remember 5 years ago when Alexis Sanchez was out for like a month and a half. And Arsenal literally won every game, or like, I think they won like 5 and 6 or some shit. And this conversation rose up again until Sanchez came back and showed him who's who and what's what. And this is what I'm saying. I genuinely cannot wait for Mo Salah to come back on this team. So you guys remember what this guy offers. This guy has not played for the last month. he still has the most goals in the league, the most assists in the league, and the most big chances created in the league.
Gee.
That's not someone I can just go like, yo, I'm going to be good without him.
Sam, you know
No,
what
I
I'm starting to realise?
Yes.
Salah's disrespected. I think he's more
Understand.
disrespected by Liverpool fans. than
Respected
rival
by
fans.
everyone. I think he's the most disrespected superstar in world football, to be honest with you.
But
But
it's like, how can you
know?
come away for any Liverpool fan? Any level-headed Liverpool fan? How can you come away and actually have a go at Mo Salah for what he's done over the last 7 years? It just don't make no sense.
Pathetic.
Right?
Pathetic.
It just doesn't make
Crazy,
any,
bro.
I mean, to
Crazy.
actually, if you that
But they did the
people
same
big-
thing with Mane, bro. People disrespected
people
Mane
bigging up-
too, bro. It's crazy.
people bigging up
Especially
the
his
result
side.
against Norwich. You regularly
You're
pipe
such a
Norwich.
fraud, Kunle.
You regularly pipe Norwich all the time. You pipe them all the time. It's not like, and they're in the Championship as well. And it's just, it makes no. That's what when he goes, and if you can't find the replacements because it's going to be hard to do, I would love to see those people come back.
That's why I'm giving him a contract extension. I'm not
That's
giving
fine.
him.
Hold on. There's something. Listen, the thing that people need to understand is that you're not going to replace Mo Salah. Klopp is
Nope.
leaving, which means that the system is changing. Right now,
Yep.
when Mohamed Salah is playing, he's our striker. He plays at the right wing, but he's the striker, right?
Yeah.
Whoever comes in is not most likely not going to play with their right wing being their striker because that's not conventional. So
No.
I'm not gonna go as far to say that. I mean, listen, we can't replace Salah in this system. If we played a different system with a traditional right winger, I probably wouldn't have Mo Salah be my traditional right winger. I would get a creative winger. In that case, could you, in theory, I don't think that replace is the right word, but evolve past would be the better term of phrase. But I want
Yeah,
him to
but
stay,
I feel like that's
regardless.
more of a future conversation dependent on who we get as manager. That's the
Yes.
thing. So, like,
But I want him anyway. I want him to sign a 5-year extension, play till you fall over
till you're
and-
expired, basically. I
Exactly,
actually agree with that. Like, just play it till you can't play anymore. So, before we move on to Chelsea, I just want to kind of expand on this title race conversation a little bit. I mean, we've heard Kunle say it. Obviously, this is the typical Arsenal energy, talking about, oh, City's going to win it already, given up. So let's ask Dan here, the title race situation. Before we do that, 500 people are in the building. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. You bunch of frauds moving like the Chelsea forwards. We're not even on 200 likes yet. Slap the like button right now. Subscribe. Dan Potts, title race. Is it? Are you just gonna be like the rest of the world and go like, oh, City's gonna win it, we have no hope, or are you anticipating a title race in the next 3 months?
Yes, Liverpool and Arsenal have always got to hold on to hope, but I think you've also got to be realistic. Is there any evidence to suggest Man City will fall off this year? Not for me, that I've seen so far. I've not looked at Manchester City and gone wow yet, but at the same time, I didn't really do that last season. You just know in the latter part of this season, they will go on this unbeaten run and they will get Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland banging in goals now. And that's what I'm expecting to see. I hope I'm wrong. If Arsenal don't win the league, I honestly want Liverpool to win it over Manchester City, because Manchester City is becoming a little boring now. There's like, it's going to be like the 11 Bayern Munich titles soon. It's going to get that crazy if it carries on. I just want it to be someone different. But not that I love Liverpool particularly, but I've never really had any genuine rivalry against them. Growing up, we were always shit when they were good, and they were always shit when we were good, basically. So I've never really had a genuine rival connection with them. But when I look at things, I just look at the situation of Manchester City and think, why would Pep not do it this season? Why would I look anywhere else other than Manchester City when I've seen some frailties in Arsenal, and I'm still not so sure that Liverpool have got what it takes. I understand why people are looking at Liverpool ahead of Arsenal, because they've done it before. They've got Klopp, they've got the team that have done it, and a lot of people look at their squad and think it's better than Arsenal. So I understand why people would look at that. But I think it will be fairly close. I've always thought it would be pretty close between the three teams. But yeah, man, I'm going Man City, and I've always gone Man City. And I just think that, with De Bruyne being out, with Haaland apparently being poor, he's got 14 goals or whatever, he'll add to that. They've still got a player out, they bring in Foden, a player out, they bring in Bernardo, a player out, they bring in Doku or Grealish. And Liverpool and Arsenal can't really do that, in my opinion, as much. So, yeah, that's why I'm going Man City, bruv. But I would like to see it go down to the wire. I just don't know how far it will go down to the wire, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is what happens if you have 115 charges, and you have a squad that costs 1.2 billion. Obviously, you're going to be favorites. But
Everyone
I
playing
just want to
catch-up,
say,
bro.
just to throw something out there. Just want to say, today, when I woke up, there was a sound in my ear that says, "Zzz." because I felt like a B today. There is this feeling inside me that's telling me Brentford today are going to get something. Ivan Toney, you want to sign for Arsenal and you grew up in Liverpool. You can do double favors today, Ivan Toney. I know you got my back because Brentford have been City's bogey team. Last season, only team to beat them home and away. Brentford, let's go. Today, I woke up feeling like a B. I've even set up a watch along. And it's not even a hate along, it's a watch along. I'm supporting Brentford fully. Like, I know
you're watching that game just to watch it. Like, I don't if this title race is going to be dropped by City, I don't think it's
more
gonna
like a hope. It's more like a hope along.
hope along is more likely because look, the reality is City have been off their game and now they've got a full squad. They've got De Bruyne back, Haaland's about to start in the game again, so everything points towards them. But with that being said, the title race is most definitely on because of how close the points are, and we never know because Arteta, we're only going to ever know whether he's the guy until when he does it. Do you get what I'm saying? So he has another opportunity where he's created, by winning that game yesterday, he's created an opportunity where we are in the game again. It's one of those ones where the reason why I'm not sure if we can do it is because although we played really, really well yesterday against Liverpool and nullified them, I don't know if Dan agrees, but are we convinced that our midfield situation has now been fixed? Probably not. But we did it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It worked yesterday with how Jorginho played and stuff. Are we gonna now say that that's our midfield for the rest of the season? I don't know. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. Do you get what I'm saying? Is ESR going to come in and do a job there? Is Partey going to actually play some minutes again for us? Is Timber going to come back and make a difference? There's a lot of things there's a lot of stories still to tell in this season, but we're in it. That's all I can say.
The importance of yesterday's victory will only be felt more if you followed up with a win at West Ham.
Yeah,
if you don't beat West Ham, then this game, what does this victory
nullified?
Mean?
100%, 100%. But what a victory like this does is look, we played City and Liverpool 3 times in the league this season, and we've got 7 points. Yeah, and no one expected us to get 7 points from those 3.
No, but Andrew, you've been in title races. You know these games matter. There's 2 games left this season that are gonna be like highly important, and that's Arsenal at the Etihad and City at Anfield. Those 2 games matter. They matter. Yeah. And usually City drop points at Anfield, and usually Arsenal drop points at the Etihad.
What you want to do, you want to get yourself in those positions where no matter what the result is, it matters. Even a draw matters, right? It's a positive for yourself. So you get there. Arsenal go to City, and if they win like single digit points, like 2 or 3 points, even a draw might be good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like that, because City could drop points again. Stuff like that. We just don't know. It's like that. So you don't want to go there going, we have to win or we're out the title race, because that changes everything. City would love that. City want you to go there with you desperate to win. That plays right into their hands. If you go there comfortable, even ahead, then that, it falls on them more than you. Do you know what I mean? The pressure then switches to City. Whereas if you if City come to you and they're like 5 points ahead, you have to win no matter what. So
if we're 5 points ahead, if we're 5 points behind by that point, we would have lost a game I don't expect us to lose.
So it changes the.
And it would have been dreadful days for us to begin with. So I'm not even trying to think about that, to be honest with you.
No, but if you're 2 points behind, it changes.
And you know what it is? Sometimes you have to make your home ground a fortress. Like sometimes, not actually sometimes. In general, when you win the league, you have to make your home stadium a fortress. And I actually have something here that proves what we're talking about as we're about to segue here. As you guys can see, obviously this is the Premier League table. You get me? Because we're segueing to the next section.
Oh, look who's on top of the league. Jeez, I never would have thought.
Oh, here we are. We got there finally, you guys. Below
top of the second half. That's top of the second
Below
half.
Wolves, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time to talk about the biggest failing sports project in sports history. Chelsea Football Club. Look at this. Look at this embarrassment. Look at this. Imagine being sandwiched between Bournemouth and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Imagine. Wolves, that's where you're sandwiched. Everyone spam the Wolves emoji in the chat. You're sandwiched between those two clubs after spending $1 billion. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Winter Surfer, my brother. The people want to hear your opinions on said failed project, my brother. Talk to me.
I'm not talking about Poch anymore because I've made up my mind. All right? I've made up my mind. He's not good enough. So my sole focus is on the above. It's the directors and the owners. Okay? The owners did the right thing by hiring people to run the club. That's what owners do. That's what all our owners do. They hire sporting directors to run the club. No owner runs their club, apart from maybe Daniel Levy. But that's it. All the others have Eddie at Arsenal. Caldoun doesn't run a club. The Barca guys run it. Whoever runs it at Liverpool, stuff like that. But it's now on the owners, and there seems to be reports that there's some they're not all in agreement. That all three
You're
need
talking
to
about
go.
the supposed Zoom call where they're fighting?
Oh yeah, that's like this, like
Is fighting Erbali on a Zoom call.
A StreamYard link. They're all going, no.
You sent them a StreamYard link and they're fighting.
Yeah, could you jump on at midday, please, Eastern time. Let's do this. Listen, it's very simple for me. He has to go. He's not good enough. I don't care what you say, Sam. He's one of the worst coaches in this league, and he's proven it. He got out-coached by Gary O'Neill twice. And Gary O'Neill took his job 6 days before the league started. And finally, and one of the things, if you're letting Kunle score a hat-trick on your team, then you deserve the sack as well. Because Kunle...
This is fact. He's the worst finisher in the Premier League, in my job. He is so horrible.
In this league. It's like having that guy at Fulham, Vinicius, score a hat-trick on you.
Mate,
you know
that
what
is
I mean?
wild.
Kunle, It is wild. Listen, we are worse defensively. Even under Potter, we weren't bad this defensively. He says we haven't got he wants to get a set piece specialist, but we scored from a set piece yesterday, one of our goals. So I don't know where that happens. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse. Yesterday, one of his quotes was, "We didn't expect." I'm abbreviating. We didn't expect. We conceded a goal and then we didn't know how to manage it. That's your job. That's your job to manage that situation. It's your job to manage, and he's just not doing it. I think his quotes yesterday were resignation quotes without resigning because he wants a payout, and I'm fine with that. You want a payout? That's fine. The best thing you ever did at Pochettino is the best thing you ever did at Pochettino at Chelsea was give the answers that everyone wanted to hear in the interview, because that's what you're supposed to do when you want a job. You give bullshit interview answers to get the job. Okay, then it falls on the directors who took 2 months to get Pochettino in and agree it, and then it falls on the owners who chose the directors to run their club. We need people who have some salt in the game, that have some name value in the game. Even Villa signed up Monchi bloke from Sevilla. He's got more gravitas in this game than the two we've got.
Can I ask you a genuine question on this whole Chelsea situation? Let me ask you a real question, genuinely, right now.
Sure.
No banter, no agendas. Because yesterday, me, Staffy, and Ziad and Saad actually had a 35-minute conversation about Chelsea for real. When Chelsea fans say this team is better than 11th, we genuinely can't know that for sure, because you're going based on potential. You're not going based on how they are now. You're thinking Enzo, Caicedo, blah, 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 3 years from now. You're not thinking about the player as of today. The reason why I've defended Poch, I have no business in this Chelsea beef. I'm not a Chelsea fan. The reason why I've defended Poch is I think genuinely sacking him is not going to change anything. Because I'll tell you why. Genuinely right now, if you sack Poch, right, you're not going to get Zidane. You're not going to get Ancelotti. You're not going to get Klopp, Pep, the elite managers. Even Hansi Flick would probably have you 7th, 8th. It's not like he's going to have you unbelievably doing well. If you get a Thomas Franken or a De Zerbi in or one of these new hipster managers, all that's going to happen is you're going to have a nice little bounce back, 2-3 games. And then after that, you're literally going to fall off again. And then Winter Surfer will be back on YouTube saying, get the manager out. But the problem is, when you have a youth project, you can't sack the manager. This is the problem. Because the players need time to develop. Now, Caicedo, use him as an example. No banter. Had Caicedo moved to Liverpool, he walks in, there's Virgil van Dijk, there's Alisson, there's Trent, there's Robertson, there's Thiago, there's Mo Salah, there's players who have been there, done that, experience. Now, the problem is, Caicedo walks in here, new atmosphere. You know who else has new atmosphere? The other 25 players you signed. What Chelsea done has never been done in football history. In the history of the sport, it's never been done, which is essentially literally do a youth project in one summer. Now, in my opinion, what Chelsea should have done, and I've given the Badiashile Daas example. Koulibaly, let's use him as an example. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't unbelievable. He made mistakes. But if Badiashile and Daas are looking next to them and Koulibaly is there, it's different than having a youngster next to you. It's different than having a guy who also is inexperienced and not confident himself there. That's why I'm saying I think the biggest problem at Chelsea is not the manager, because the energy we showed Graham Potter before Chelsea and after Chelsea proves that. Like, Graham Potter was not looked at as a bum, but he comes to Chelsea and suddenly he's a bum. Why? Because of the results, because of the project. My issue, looking at Chelsea from the outside, I don't think sacking the manager solves this. I think signing experienced players solves this. And the 150 million you spent on Caicedo, had you took that, I'm giving you a realistic example. Had you signed McAllister before us, got Tielemans on a free, and signed Palhinha, those are 3 Premier League experienced players who would have cost less than Caicedo, that would have elevated your team to the next level. And you know how I know you're nitpicking with Poch? Prime example. I don't want to keep waffling for too long, but genuinely, right? Prime example. When Colwell plays left back, you guys moan. When Chilwell plays left back, you moan. When Cucurella plays left back, you moan. When he plays Enzo in the 6, he's not a 6. When he plays him in the 8, why are you playing this guy next to him? When you play him in the 10, oh, he is not a 10. Like, it's just like, what? Like, I feel like you're just nitpicking. It's like me going like, this lost yesterday's on Jurgen Klopp. He played Gakpo right wing. He's not a right winger. Bro, all the top 3 teams in the league right now, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, all 3 managers have played players out of position all year long. Havertz in midfield, McAllister DM, Julian Alvarez in midfield, and they dropped points like 3 games in a row because of it. So I feel like, genuinely, if you sack Poch tomorrow, nothing's going to change, because the project is the problem, not the manager.
Okay, so I said, right, so I'll go on and say, yeah, what needs to happen going forward is a big change, okay, in terms of that. That's why you get rid of directors as well. Because you, as an owner, you've hired directors to run your club, and their vision is not a good vision, okay? I will say this, Sam. When 1 or 2 players are playing badly, consistency, you write it off. When nearly a whole squad is playing badly, that's on the manager and his coaching staff. Okay, he is not evolved from his Spurs days. Okay, he is not evolved from his Spurs days. Caicedo has been left in a single pivot by himself. It was the same midfield setup that when we played you guys that you ran through us yesterday. So he's not learning whatsoever, or he's refusing to learn whatsoever. He's leaving these guys out. There's no development whatsoever. This whole his whole history of helping young players is based on Southampton, and that's 10 years ago. That's 10 years ago. He's not involved. He went to PSG and made Messi look like a normal player, like a normal dude for that year. He's just not it, okay? Now, I can understand. It's funny because when rival fans have a go at Man United when they're playing bad, it's all Ten Hag's fault. No one mentions the Glazers.
Yeah, but Ten Hag doesn't have an average age of 13.
No. And
like you do.
When it happens at Arsenal, it's all Arteta's fault. It's all Arteta's fault. But when it's Chelsea, no.
Yeah, but once again, the projects can't be compared. At Man United, it is 100% Ten Hag's fault. He's chosen all these players, and
you know what undermines everyone's thing. We're seeing it this year. We're seeing coaches go in at unfavourable clubs and set their style up and play well. Gary O'Neill went into Wolves. Gary O'Neill went into Wolves 6 days before the season started, and they sold his 2 best midfielders and his recognised striker. And look where he is. Look at the Bournemouth manager, Raiola, whatever his name is. He had Dominic Solanke linked to Arsenal in a January transfer window. No one wanted Dominic Solanke 4 months ago. No one wanted him. Look at Unai Emery. If you actually deep and look at that Aston Villa squad, there's a few standouts, but there's
I'm taking more Villa players in my team than I am Chelsea players.
I'm not asked. Listen, I think this Chelsea job's easy. I'm not asked because I don't think the squad's good enough for a title race or a top 4. Yeah.
Really? Well, tell your delusional fan base, because 99% of them wanted top 4 this summer.
Yeah,
listen.
Facts, man.
Hey, some even said top 3. Some even said top 3, bro.
Right now, I refuse.
The fan base are crazy.
Hey, Hussam, can you do me a favor? Stop bringing Winter Server for these shows, man. I need the delusional lot. I need those lot here. I don't need Winner Surfer.
I refuse to apologise to a fan base I mostly hate myself. So I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm not going to apologise for that. That's on them. That's on them and their delusions. But I will say this on Poch. How come Potter was getting some games out of Enzo, getting games out of Badiashile, getting games out of this person, but Poch isn't? And he's had a whole pre-season and played once a week generally for most of this season. And we haven't got... He changes the team all the time. Centre-back partnership keeps changing. Listen, I agree with the left-back thing. The left-back, they're all not good enough, all right? I think whoever you play...
And your solution is what? Because we should have kept Maatsen.
Yes, we didn't try him. He never tried the left back.
There you are. Guys, you know what would have made that massive difference to Chelsea's season?
I'm not saying it would have made a difference.
They should have kept Kai and Mount. They should have kept Kai and Mason. They should have kept Kai and Mason as well.
What's happening, guys, is this. Hassan planted his flag saying Poch is the third best manager in the league and he'd take him off the clock. And he's now gone far down the rabbit hole that Poch has proven him wrong each and every week. But he's gone so far down the rabbit hole.
No, he hasn't proven me wrong every week. No, he hasn't.
I think you're proving him wrong every week. Wolves haven't won at Stamford Bridge since 1979. They haven't won at Stamford Bridge since 1979. Poch's trajectory is getting to Ten Hag level of breaking records you don't want to break. That's what it's getting. That's what it's getting.
But the Ten Hag thing. I want to let Potsy just give us his opinion on Chelsea because I know he has to go in a second. So, the simple 10-second debunk to the Ten Hag thing is Eric Ten Hag did not sign a bunch of 16-year-olds. He chose all these players. He's doing the Dutch friends and family project, and they're all experienced. Casemiro's experience, Varane's experience, Lisandro's experience, Onana's experience, Rashford's experience, Bruno's experience. I can name you 15 players in that United team that are experienced and have some form of experience. Bro, even, you know who's been going, you want me to prove your point right now? Who was Enzo's teammate at River Plate? Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez has had about 5 stinkers in a row for Manchester City. Ask City fans. He stank up the pitch for them, but he's allowed to have stinkers because he has KDB next to him and Rodri next to him, and players have been there, done that. The problem is when you sign 11 Alvarez, you cannot sign 11 Alvarez's and expect your team to do something. That's the thing. Anyway, let's let Potsy land because I know he has to go in a bit. Well, what do you make of Chelsea, Dan?
It's brilliant. I love it. I mean, listen, long may it continue. And listen, Surfer, I've not shared a platform with you before, bro. You seem like a good guy and a level-headed one, man. But unfortunately, a lot of your bunch ain't. They get very cocky and they start. And we've got it, bro. We're one of the most deluded in the fan base. We're extremely toxic. Arsenal fans as well, right? But Chelsea fans, they're hilarious, man. I can't understand it. They're proper Chelsea. I call them proper 12th. All right, that's what I call them, proper 12th, because that's what it's looking like again. I actually disagree with Sam. I don't think Poch is the third best manager in the league. I think Unai Emery is 100% the third best manager in the league. But when I look at what Pochettino's doing, I think it's awful. I think it's absolutely awful. However, and I would sack him, by the way, because Chelsea in 11th should not be happening, in my opinion. It's a sackable offence, right? But let me say this. The way your club is run is an absolute circus, mate. All the money in the world, throwing it around. I look at that team and I think, £1 billion, where's it gone? Where the hell has £1 billion gone, or whatever it is, 800 million, or whatever people want to say to me? That's what you say, the Chelsea. It isn't £1 billion, actually. It's 897 million. I don't care. It's close to £1 billion, right? I can't stand that. People say it's not actually £1 billion.
We round up here. We round up.
Yeah, it's mad, man. It's absolutely mad. So that's where I'm at with that. But the way that Todd Bowley has been reckless, who's good? Anyone know? Mudryk. Oh, really? Yeah, he's going to be the next best thing. How much do they want? 95 million. Arsenal want him. Oh, let's go get him then. 95 million. Crazy signing. Awful. Mudryk. And I actually look at the players and I think, yeah, Poch is bad, but are these players actually that great? Like, let's be real. Just for a minute, just be real. Up top, it is a shambles. Yeah. And people say to me, score more than Arsenal's front three. I don't care. You're 11th. Like, I do not care. It is poor. Nicholas Jackson is not going to win Chelsea anything. Mudryk is not going to win Chelsea anything. Madueke might be fine in a few years' time, but he ain't ready now. Neither is Chukwuemeka or all the other names you want to throw at me that nobody believes would get into the top. So Conor Gallagher, people are telling me, has been your best player. That's a problem, bro. Yeah, 39 years old at the back is still the best centre half. That's a problem, bro. When I look at Gusto and they're going, this kid looks one of our better players. That's a problem. When I look at the goalkeeper and he is the guy, Petrovic has come in. This guy looks brilliant. I think Petr Cech, we'll call him Petr Cech. He looks brilliant. But no, this guy is not going to be good enough for Chelsea moving forward if you want to win a title. And for me, everyone just sits there and blames it. There's a lot more wrong than just Poch. This is a poor project, mate. And
yeah, but
to spend
Poch,
that
how
much
do
money,
you say all that and then say they should sack Poch regardless? I just disagree with your conclusion. I agree with everything
Shouldn't be
you said.
11. Be saying we shouldn't be.
How
11.
do you conclude
There
based
should-
on
because
everything
that
you
team
said?
is not good enough, but it shouldn't be 11th for
I
Sam.
totally
Come on.
disagree.
How do you know?
I
How do
totally
you know
disagree with that.
How can anyone?
Okay,
How can
so
anyone
those
factually tell
players
me right
I've
now
mentioned, the poor,
this
those
team is
players
better
I've
than
mentioned,
11?
those players I've mentioned, the poor, right? But should a midfielder that's cost 350 million be sitting in 11th? I don't believe so. Should we be looking at Chelsea right now with the players they have got when they're fit and go, yeah, that's about Wolves level. That's about Wolves level. I don't believe so. Some people might. I think the squad's poor, and I think the project is actually quite hilariously bad, if I'm honest, because people laugh at ours and say it's a youth project, it's a process, ain't going to work. Chelsea have gone extreme levels of what Arteta's done. Everybody that's under 23 come play football. You can't do that.
Yeah, but
You
Poch,
cannot
even
do
your
that.
youth project, they've been together for 3 years.
Yeah,
This
true.
is the thing. Like they've been together for like Saka, Martinelli, what's his name, Odegaard. Declan Rice has been he's young, you know, in words of Jose Mourinho, there is the young and then there is the young. Declan Rice has been playing in the Premier League like 4 or 5 years now, so he has experience. Saliba was playing for Marseille. Like Gabriel has been in this team. Zinchenko has been in this league. Ben White has been in this league in this team. Same with Ramsdale. So yeah, okay, they're all young, but they're young and have experience in the Prem, having played together. If you want a prime example, look at McAllister yesterday. On paper, he's young, but he's got Premier League experience. He's been there, done that. It's not like it's his first rodeo, you know. So,
Sam, I hear
I'll
what,
ask one more question. Sorry, Kunle, I know because he has to go. I don't want to keep for too long. Potts, right now, and I think this question will show you why I got to conclusion that I got to. If I line up the whole Chelsea squad in front of you right now, tell me who you're taking to improve Arsenal from the whole Chelsea squad.
Oh, that's tough, man.
Oi, that is it, Dan. And that's
tough,
the bottom line.
I like Caicedo. I do. And I probably
Okay.
would take Caicedo, but you're right, man. I'm struggling after
So you're
that.
taking Caicedo out of a 25-man
Yeah.
squad, and you think Poch should be sacked?
Oh no, sorry, for a first 11, I'm meaning. Sorry, I'm first 11.
Cole
I'm meaning.
Palmer. You guys should 100% take
Cole Palmer. I rate Cole Palmer. I rate
Okay,
Caicedo.
that's two.
I
Enzo on
rate-
your bench,
I
that's
do. I know
three.
he hasn't played. I do rate
and
Lavia.
Cuckoo as well.
And Kunku's a good player. He's probably getting ahead of the likes of Nelson and who else have we got? Fabi Vieira.
He's gonna play
all
like
those guys.
11 games a season, though. You're gonna buy him.
Yeah, listen. Your point.
Exactly
your point,
right,
to wrap-
Mr. Reese
to wrap
James
it
over
up-
there.
To wrap it up, your point is I take 4 or 5 of them. Yeah.
But-
So you
but-
take 4 or 5
but
from
hang
a
on.
25-man
But
squad.
Sam,
I would.
Apart from
I
us
would.
believe they're better than 11th. I don't
But
think they are.
Sam, no, but Sam, to destroy your point, rival fans wanted these players before this
Big up to
season
you, By
started.
the way, I know you have a stream. I don't want to
So
keep you for
the-
too long.
these-
No, that's cool. I'll
these
go a couple
players-
minutes, man.
A big bulk of these players, other rival fans wanted before Poch got a hold of them. So that destroys your point. That isn't that Poch.
But I've
but
already rebutted that,
No,
Surfer.
no, you haven't rebutted it. At
So
all.
you're
I
using the
have-
argument
I
that
have
Liverpool wanted
rebutted you.
Caicedo.
No,
You're using the argument.
no.
Your
Hey,
whole argument
Surfer,
is based on
Surfer,
Liverpool wanting
Surfer. He
Caicedo.
did kind of.
Caicedo wants
Hey,
you to
Hussam,
experience
I
food.
got you.
Yes.
Now, Surfer, he did say the difference is if Caicedo went to Liverpool, he has people around him to when he is having stinkers to cover up his game. Whereas at Chelsea, those are all your players, the players that are having stinkers. So when we're all having stinkers,
You're
that's what
gonna
he's trying
have
to say.
stinkers. You're gonna have stinkers when you're left as a sole DM. You're gonna have stinkers when there's no when. That's what Poch does all the time.
But also Enzo's having a stinker, Gallagher's having a stinker, Colwell's having a stinker.
Can I ask a quick
Gallagher's not
question,
having a
though?
stinker. That's his normal level. He's not having a stinker.
sorry.
That's his normal
Can I
level.
ask you a question though? Just quick on this, right? Because we're talking about Poch at the moment, and I personally would have sacked him because for me, Chelsea in 11th just shouldn't go. Like for me, unless you think that's where Chelsea should be, and he's doing an all right job. Pochettino is all good. 11th, 12th is where he should be. Yeah. He's doing a great job. Keep him there, right? Unless you think that, I would have get rid of him. However, are you happy with this whole project and board and ownership? Because I think it's a sham, bro.
No, that's why I said at the start. I said everything needs to be taken a look at. Okay. That's why owners.
That's my point. That is what I'm getting at.
Owners, all our owners have hired sporting directors to run their clubs. Yeah, they've all hired them. Yeah, you hire the best of the best. We didn't hire the best of the best. That's on the owners. Okay, that's on the owners, and they followed the sporting directors because sporting directors were the one who got Poch in. They did the 2 month spin, and then he goes up for a final interview. Like I said, good on Poch. He gave the right answers to get a job. We would all do that. No problem. I have no problem with that. So that's why I said it all needs to go. It all needs to. It's not just Poch. That's why I said at the start. I really don't want to focus all on Poch. I will criticise it during the game, but him now staying, the focus now goes above him because I've made up my mind about Poch. He has to go. It now goes above. It goes to the sporting directors and it goes to the owners. Now, the owners need to. But the fear is for the sporting directors, then it goes on them, right? Because they're the ones who hired Poch, who got Poch in the first place. So I think it all needs to be sorted out. Summer, it needs to be a change in everything. It needs to be a change in, okay, so we got these players in now. The summer focus, like you said, I'm not even talking about world class, but like sort of like experienced players that are just around the squad. Do you know what I mean? Like people might think I'm crazy, but obviously a younger versions of like a James Milner type or something. Do you know what I mean?
That's something crazy at all.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? Just players like that you go, oh, okay, they're good enough, but they're never going to be like you
should have got a Ward-Prowse.
They're integral. Exactly. Listen. I got laughed at when I said we should go for Ward-Prowse. I got laughed at. I think West Ham was one of the signings of the summer, but no, Ward-Prowse. He's from Southampton. It's all about snobbery as well. Let's still do that. But then we're getting some frigging sprinter from Ukraine, for 60 odd million, but he's good enough after 12 games.
Backstreet boy.
Andrew, there's one key element in here that I think that we haven't really touched on is that I truly think that Chelsea are in an even worse position than any of us could ever possibly imagine. And the simple reason for that is the contracts that you gave these players. Unfortunately, I believe that you should sack Poch, but I don't think it's going to make a damn difference because, to be honest with you, I see Chelsea in the mud for the next 10 to 15 years. And the reason is because of the ridiculous
I said 5, but
well, hold on. Listen. They locked these players down to absurd contracts. While they're playing in this form, every single player's value is diminishing game over game over game, which means that if you sell these players, you sell them for a loss. If you sell all these players for a loss, you cannot buy new players because you're not adding in revenue. If you buy new players, you're going to get in trouble with FFP, and then you're going to face 115 charges just like Manchester City. The problem is that you've dug yourself into a grave that you cannot get out of. I do not believe that there's a manager in the world that can come in and just with the exact same players make a single difference. The issue that you have is that you have screwed yourselves. And I do not see a way for you to get out. I do not see a way for you to get out until you get rid of the ownership and you allow these contracts to expire. Because I'm not touching Caicedo's 8-year contract with a 10-year. Actually, no, him. I would. I'm not touching Badiashile's 8-year contract. I'm not touching Gusto's 8-year contract. I'm not touching Mudrik's 8-year contract. Not to mention, I'm not paying the wages that you're paying these guys, which means that you're going to have to pay wages.
Hey, do you know what? Hey, Silver. Like the reality is, there's what
Kunle have the final word on Chelsea, and then
there's one manager that could maybe stabilize you lot for the next 2 years.
You even say his name
right now. Hold on. There's one manager that can.
I will matrix through the screen right now.
Wait, let me land. It's not the guy you think it is, right? And I say you get this guy in the summer. Let Poch see what he can do till summer, because I don't think anyone's changing the position any drastically in the next couple of months. But in the summer, for the next 2 years, to secure you as a top 6 team, not a top 4, to secure you as a top 6 team, get in Unai Emery, bro. That's the guy for you lot, bro.
Oh, that's not
Unai
even a bad
Emery-
shout. I thought
Unai
Kunle
Emery
was
for 2
I
years.
thought he was going to say Jose.
Unai
a
Emery-
lot
I thought he was
worse
gonna
than
say
Nah,
that,
nah.
to be honest
I
with
thought you
you.
were going
being
with
serious.
Jose, man. I thought you were going with Jose.
Nah,
I must
Unai
admit.
Emery for 2 years and then stabilize the ship because he's good with all these cocktails of players that he has around. So he'll get something out of them and then bring in a proper man in. Do you get me?
Well, that no, but
Listen, we're
actually,
gonna-
you know what? Actually, you're onto your point.
God.
It might be that point where you have to get another manager in who's not the main guy, but just to sort everything out.
You're not
For
going to
the
be able to
next
buy
guy to
anyone, though.
That's such a simplistic thing. Managers have egos, okay? They want to be paid. All this, we
That's
wouldn't
what
get him in
so
this.
depressed because
It's
of
not
Chelsea.
No,
true.
I'm talking about players. You're not going to be able to bring in a
Chelsea.
single player. Whoever comes in, you cannot buy a player because you cannot sell a player for a profit. There is no money.
The
There's
thing
no
is this,
money.
Mike. The thing is this, Mike. First of all, I resent you put Gusto and Badashile with Mudryk because that's just not fair to
Well, listen,
Gusto.
Gusto
Hey,
is
Baddie.
quality.
You don't get to get. You don't call him his
He's
full name
more
anyway. He's
from a
called
You're
Baddie,
better
bro.
than
He
that.
lets all the
You're
man
better
them
than
in.
that, Mike. You're
He's
better
called
than that.
Baddie
You're
now.
better than that.
Baddie,
I'm sorry.
not
I'm
Baddie.
sorry. I'm
But
sorry.
no,
Listen,
but the thing is, the thing is,
Andrew,
before,
sorry, man. Just quickly, I've got to shoot
Yeah,
off because
sorry,
I've got another
sorry,
stream.
Dan.
But listen, big up to everyone. Big up to all of you.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you so
Dan.
much for having me on. Big up to the chat.
No
Make sure
worries.
you like and
Guys,
subscribe.
Dan Potts' channel is in the description. The 12th Man podcast in the description. Go and subscribe to all these guys' channels in the description. Mike Daas' channel, which is This Is Football. Go subscribe to Casual FC. Go subscribe to One Pot TV. Go subscribe to Dan Potts. So make sure you guys are subscribing to all these great guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Dan. I
Big
appreciate
up,
it.
man. Absolute pleasure. Listen, Mike and Andrew, first time with you guys. Absolute pleasure meeting both of you. And thanks so much, man. Kunle,
Congrats on
always
the
a
win.
pleasure, my bro. And
Big
Hussam,
up, Dan, every time, bro.
love, man.
Congrats,
Cheers.
Big up.
Thanks, boys.
Big up.
Take care, yeah? Later.
See you.
Just
Listen, let me just read these 2 super chats because Troops will cook me in patois if I don't arrive at his stream at 6 because he'll end up moaning about something. Big up to JW says, no banter. Caicedo is one of the worst DMs in the Premier League. Guys, it's 5 UK now, right?
yes, it's dead on. Just literally 10-5 UK. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he said 5 UK. Okay. No banter. Caicedo is one of the worst DMs in the Premier League. Listen, if I open up this kind of worms, I made a statement yesterday and I stick by it. If Caicedo's wife cheats on him, still his worst ever decision is the fact he chose Chelsea over Liverpool. That decision is a decision he will not live down for the rest of his life, and Andrew can eye roll as much as he wants. Had he signed for us, he'd be top of the league, we'd be in a better position, and he'd be competing on all fronts right now.
What could have been?
What could have
Yeah,
been?
you
Big up to
don't would
Felipe
have won
said,
the
"You
league
don't
with him.
win that EFL Cup, Hussam, it's embarrassing, bro." I agree with you. You think I want to lose to Chelsea in a final? Have some shame.
By the way, if you do, I will be even more shameless than you know me to be right now.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
because you're going to be in the
Watch
mud for
out.
10 years anyway. You could take one trophy. You're in the mud for 10 years. It's
all right.
fine.
Once Klopp leaves, you go back to battling for 4th or 5th.
Oh, sure.
Ah,
I believe
there
it
you
when
are.
I see
There
it.
you
I
are.
believe it when I see it.
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. I can't wait for FFP to charge you and you end up in League 2. Now, listen,
AFC Chelsea. AFC Chelsea.
You know, we just
AFC
wrap up,
Chelsea.
Andrew. Can we wrap up? Do you want Troops to cuss me out? Big up
Yes,
to
I
JW.
do. I do want to.
Actually, yeah, I think that would be great entertainment.
100%. We need that.
You
Guys,
deserve it
actually
too.
need
We all deserve it. We all deserve it.
Guys, I'm proud he will start this camel agenda again. Big up to Ryan, Donna, Tony, Felipe, and Jack for the super chats. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna be back, guys, on the watch along. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Tunnel TV. That's where you're gonna find Kunle's Reaction. One Touch TV. That's his channel as well. Make sure to go, guys, subscribe. Guys, go subscribe to Casual FC. I love you all. Appreciate you all. I'm redirecting you to the Back Again podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching us. Like, subscribe, and see you guys back on the watch along, inshallah.
Big up,
We're
guys.
still winning the league. We're still winning the league.
You're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not.